and obviously they've got the Cliffords and Johnny O'Shea and Guinea up front, so they've all their artillery up front. They've got their defence sorted. They played in Division 1. They've been here last year. They've been through tougher games. I think this is Kerry's to lose right now.
Emotionally, how hard is it to blank the outside noise, blank the occasion, and go back to the basics you were taught from the age of 6, 7, 8, and employ them on the biggest day of the whole lot?
I think, Damien, these two teams are so so good at this situation. They've been in multiple finals over the last 10 years, so it's nothing to the guys. I think the basic level stay is going to be after top quality, greasy pitch, bit of rain coming down, and I expect the two teams to be at the absolute peak of their powers today.
Sean, Uachtaráin coming, Luke Lasquale, Larry McCarthy's coming out, Uachtaráin here, and Michael D. Higgins is still recovering from surgery. We wish him well. In your experience, will today be a day for going direct into both full forward lines, or will they sit back, retreat against the kick out and play the lines?
Well, as in any game, goals are going to be massive, and today with that little bit of greasy surface, Damien, a slip of defender here and there could change this game. I think Kerry has a natural height up there and the natural ball winning ability in Guinea and Clifford, and I think Dublin don't match up that well in defence. For me, I know it hasn't been talked about much, but if I was Dessie Ford, I'd be thinking at some point, will I need to move James McCarthy back on to Clifford? I know a lot's been said about Fitzsimons, but I think Clifford is too much for him.
I think James McCarthy is so important at the middle of the field. I think that battle today in the midfield is key for who's going to come out winner today. And for me, the way James McCarthy is playing there at the moment, he's in the best shape of his life, and that's saying something about him.
It would be an unbelievable matchup, because they're probably it's probably the best attacker ever, possibly against the best defender ever. There's no better place to
one
play
thing, Sean, I do think we're going to get goal chances today. You see from the semi-finals, both defences are open to goal chances, so it'll be the team who's more clinical up top today that will come out on top as well.
Call it in a nutshell, Lee.
Dublin by 2-3 points.
Sean?
Kerry by 4.
Joanne, back to you. That's the verdict from pitch side in Croke Park.
Yeah, Peter, that midfield battle, because we probably haven't touched on that nearly often enough.
Yeah, and we're saying again, for so many games, Kerry always put Jack Barry onto Brian Fenton, and they believe that he's got the mark over Fenton. But before, I'm not convinced that he has. I felt Fenton has played well on him, but not as well as he can play. The other big player that has emerged in midfield is Diarmuid O'Connor. So what do Dublin do? Dublin play hard on him, or do they put McCarthy on him right away? So again, big calls that have to be made by...
I think the Fenton one, you know, if you're Brian Fenton and you're listening to that for the last few years, and, you know, obviously he has kept him relatively quiet, but Fenton is such an experienced footballer. I think that's going to be getting at him, and he's out to make a statement, I would say, to be prominent out here today. So it's going to be a great battle to see, Kenny Corbin.
Tomas O'Shea, abysmal was the word you used in relation to Dublin's performance at half-time against Monaghan.
Was it? Jeez, I can't remember last night, Joanne.
Shocking.
No, the more I think of it, I thought Kerry were in a good place 3 or 4 weeks ago. I still agree with that. I think in any game, in any big match, you're going to need 10, 11, 12 fellas to hit the standard. All year, Gavin White, Diarmuid O'Connor, Sean O'Shea, Jason Foley, Paddy Clifford, David Clifford obviously have been outstanding. If Kerry get that 10, 11, 12 players playing to I don't often agree with Sean Kavanagh, but I would agree it could be 3 or 4 points. But I would say Fenton, obviously at midfield, Jack Barry will take Fenton, but the man in the camera there, David Clifford, holds the key to the whole lot, in my opinion. But on a given day, in a final, there's 3 or 4 fellas who you're not expecting to step up, will step up. And if Kerry can get those guys to step up that haven't, in my opinion, been there consistently throughout the season, I think that's what it'll be about.
I think getting back to Peter's point about Dublin's raw, the aggressive tackle and getting that press on, I think that was one of their weaknesses maybe against Monaghan. They're leaving it late in the game. When they play with that aggression and they put a squeeze on, they're very, very effective. And I think they have to ask Kerry questions a little bit earlier. That they might break it down into quarters or whatever way they do it, but I think they have to really go with that aggression and force, put pressure on Kerry. It might be from the kick out, but it can be in other facets of the play. I think if Dublin can do that, if Dublin can get a hold of Clifford in some way and don't give Kerry the space, I think there's enough Dublin forwards that can step up and crop up.
The one attribute that Paddy Talley brought to this Kerry side has been his defensive qualities as a coach, among others. So they have tightened that up on what the saying in American football about offence sells tickets, defence wins championships. That's why they've won it on the back of a real strong defensive setup. But Derry showed how you can draw key Kerry defenders out of position. I think they've set that template. Dublin forward line with Kilkenny in it is now more versatile. They can move into different positions. So if they play their hand right, I think they can cause Kerry problems at the back.
Wheelo touched on it there. Dublin want to press, they want to press up. But the key factor all the time is if you press up, you will give space at the back. And when you have Clifford inside, that's the whole basis, I think, of the first half watching. Will they press up? How aggressive will they be?
Press up all the time.
Yeah, I know not all the time. But
the
piece you showed, Peter, of them pushing up even in the middle, there'll be pockets behind that. So do they drop even behind that?
Both teams are going to go for it, guys.
Oh, we hope so. Both teams to go for. We'll all take that, please. Agus most míle touchrocht ascaigil le fáil Sarah View RT News Channel. Agus Sarah and RT player le Dara Coneja Agus Gary McDonagh. But it's back to our commentary team here for the 2023 All-Ireland Football Final. Eamon and Dara.
The noise here absolutely incredible as the teams complete the parade. Wherever you are in Ireland or around the world, you are so welcome. If you're in London, Liverpool, Madrid, Chicago, Sydney, Coffs Harbour or Cape Town, the focus for Irish people all over the world is right here. The 17th time that Kerry and Dublin are meeting in the All-Ireland Senior Football Final. I'm told that half of Kerry is in a place called Marmaris in Turkey. They're with us today, but these are magic moments for these players. And Eamon, I heard was it Darren O'Sullivan and Michael Darren McCauley last night and up for the match saying that these moments, this is where you actually get to take in the atmosphere, because the rest of it's just a blur.
It's incredible, Dara, the atmosphere, even compared to the semi-final last year. You know it's an All-Ireland final. The hairs are standing up in my neck right now this minute. Just the level of noise, anticipation in the stadium is just incredible. It's such a privilege to be here.
It surely is, and that is what it's all about. The Sam Maguire, where will that be going this evening? Will it be heading back to the Kingdom, or will it return to the capital? I think of all the incredible moments that these two counties have been involved in all the way back to, what was it, 1893. I wasn't there for that one, Michael was saying, 1892, 93, but wherever you're from, we've been brought up on moments between these two teams. The Morris Fitz sideline in Thurles, the McMenamin goal, the Gooch Eye of the Needle pass, the Cluxton free, which made this ground shake back in 2011. The two teams break away. Stephen Cluxton returned this year for this game, for these moments. Kerry, well, they're eyeing back-to-back. And the two teams have gone to either 45-metre line as they line up for Aaron Naveen. These special moments wherever you are in the world, Aaron Naveen on All-Ireland Football Final Day. But just at this moment as well, there will be a moment's silence in memory of St. Maur's juvenile member Keely Durnan, who passed away on Monday. She was just 17 years of age. Her last match at Croke Park was the semi-final between Dublin and Kerry last year. We remember her and her family in Croke Park today.
This year represents the 175th anniversary of the national flag, where the tricolour was first flown from 33 the Mall in Northern Sea. We acknowledge the work of the Thomas Francis Family Foundation in highlighting this milestone and its importance. We also ask for due respect to show to the national anthem, our
The noise, absolutely astonishing. Even Coldplay wouldn't live with this, and they won't live with it over the course of the afternoon. Dublin won the toss. They're going to attack the old canal end, the Davin stand end of Croke Park. The rain has gone away. The surface will be a little greasy. There's not a huge wind, nothing that you would be too concerned about. So David Goff from Meath is the referee. His second final, he did the 19 decider between these two counties and the 16 semi-final as well. Martin McNally from Monaghan, James Malloy from Galway are the linesmen. The sideline official Fergal Kelly of Longford. Lock and load, get ready for this. Will it be back-to-back for Kerry, or will Dublin get it back? The 23 All-Ireland final is underway. Kerry and Dublin. Kerry with the first attack. This is Paul Gainey. I reckon there's a huge game in him today. Stephen O'Brien brought back into the team. Massive experience and so much skill. Here's Diarmuid O'Connor. Tadhg Morley. We'll track the matchups, see if they've been able to get Morley free. Will Howard be the extra player? There's Paudie Clifford. Stephen O'Brien attacking Hill.